The connection is very unique. I think that was another part that really drew me to it, is like when you fly or play with somebody, it's like you're really trusting this person, and you just almost forever feel connected to them. Like for some reason, you just feel like they're your best friend forever. Like trusted this person to lift you in the air and then do this really weird thing. And yeah, I thought that was really unique, and I really haven't found that kind of feeling or experience anywhere else.
You are listening to Feminine Will, powered by Sweatseat. I'm Andrea McKee. This is a show about women who choose athleticism, adventure, and bravery every day. Thanks for listening. Today you'll hear from Crystal Nordico, who went from avid rock climber and then stumbling upon an acroyoga class at her rock climbing gym, and now she's teaching, and she's been doing acroyoga for 5 years. I loved this interview and was like, I need to go try acroyoga. That sounds fun. Give us some background on you. Tell us about yourself.
For the most part, for most of my life, I've been athletic and into like sports and fitness. And then just kind of growing up, I kind of got really bored with just like traditional sports. So I started doing more things that were outside of the box, like backpacking and hiking and rock climbing and canyoneering. And so kind of getting into a little bit more of the outdoor adventures.
Yeah, I've had a lot of experience with that too. So that's awesome
really?
That you have. Yeah.
Oh, fun. Yeah. And I just liked how different it was. And it just always kept me more intrigued than the normal gym. I was always just kind of lost in a normal gym or bored or not as motivated. And there's just so many benefits to rock climbing and the community that you meet.
Definitely.
Yeah. And then I kind of, when I was in my rock climbing gym, I looked up one day and I saw a bunch of feet flying in the air, and I realized that there was, yeah, it was real silly, an acroyoga class. And like anybody else, I looked at it and I was like, wow, that looks really impressive and difficult. And it's kind of a funny story. So I knew it was like a partner thing. And I was convincing my climbing partner to go do it with me for like months. And he was like, no, it's too girly.
Is this Jason, your current acroyoga partner?
No, I have many acroyoga partners right now, so I don't have anyone specific. But this was a partner at the time. And I finally convinced him to go to the class with me. And we went up to the class, and of course, they didn't even have us work together. We worked with everybody else. But so it was really funny. And I was like, okay, I don't need to bring anybody. I could just show up.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. And that, I bet, was probably really good to know.
Yeah.
How long ago was that?
That was about 5 years ago.
Wow. Okay.
A rock climbing gym called Lab in downtown LA.
Oh, nice.
And from there, I just really fell in love with it. It was just so different and so new. And it really balanced my rock climbing really well. And so I started going to jams, an acro jam, which is just a group of people who kind of like get together and play together and create together. And it's pretty fun. And then eventually I started teaching, and it's only made me love the practice even more.
Have you always been flexible?
No, actually, strength is my strong suit. And so I've always been naturally strong and been able to build muscle pretty easily. Flexibility took a lot longer. And acroyoga really helped with that because it's a lot more like active flexibility, which is nice because I'm not very patient to sit around and just stretch my hamstrings.
So that's something I want to dive a little bit more into, because someone for me, like me as an example, I look at your Instagram and I'm like, wow, That's really cool. And how would I ever be able to do that? Because I'm really not that flexible. I mostly
Yeah.
run as a way to keep my
Okay.
body in shape. And,
Okay.
but I'm really inspired by that. And my husband is actually quite, I, I mean, I think he definitely would like to become more flexible, but he likes to do yoga moves and, he can do
Yeah.
some pretty cool things. And I think it would be fun for us to do something like that. But I don't know how flexible you have to be. And how do you kind of build your body into that?
It's so funny because flexibility is not my strong suit. I find yoga much more difficult than acro yoga,
Okay.
uh, which is really funny. And as far as acro yoga, it depends what role you're playing. But if you're the base, which is the person on the bottom, it's mostly just hamstring flexibility. And it's really common that a lot of men will come into my class and not have that initially and get it pretty quickly because you have like a human weight on top of you that's helping you get there. And so that's really the only flexibility that the base needs, and it'll naturally open up their hips, their hip flexors. So like happy baby can be sometimes helpful for that. Um, and then as far as the flyer, I really didn't start with any flexibility, and just by doing the practice, I was able to get a little bit more flexible. And I still wouldn't call myself the most flexible person out there. But I don't think it's super crucial in order to have fun with the practice and be advanced and do advanced skills.
Okay. So take us back to that first class at the rock climbing gym, and what was it about it that just spoke to you?
Oh, I think what it still speaks to me today, it's just fun.
Yeah.
So much fun and laughter and
Okay, I
connection.
can see that. Okay, I can see that. Yeah, because you're literally connecting bodies with somebody else and just
Yeah.
trying new things, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And the connection is very unique. I think that was another part that really drew me to it is like when you fly or play with somebody, it's like you're really trusting this person and you just almost forever feel connected to them. Like for some reason, you
Mm.
just feel like they're your best friend forever. Like,
Yeah.
just trusted this person to lift you in the air and then do this really weird thing. And
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
and so it's weird. I just felt so connected to them because of that. And I don't really, it wasn't like, it wasn't an intimate connection. It wasn't like, I want to date you. It was just like,
Yeah.
you're my friend now.
Yeah. Because you just helped
And
me achieve something really cool.
yeah, I thought that was really unique. And I really haven't
Hmm.
found that kind of feeling or experience anywhere else.
Wow. So, I always find it really just kind of interesting to see what people gravitate toward and then just do it for a long time. Like,
Yeah, just
I
take
mean,
off with
yeah, I mean,
it.
it's like you did rock climbing. Did you ever get
Yeah.
were you an avid rock climber? Or did you just do it for fun, like on the weekends? Like, how into that were you versus how into acro yoga you became?
Oh, this is a good question. I always have this battle. I love both for different
Okay.
reasons. I'm an avid rock climber, so I still
Okay.
go
So you still
a
are.
couple times a week. Yeah. And I actually teach most of my acro yoga classes to rock climbers in rock
Oh,
climbing.
okay. Wow. And
Yeah.
see, I would have never put the two together. And that's why I'm so surprised that that particular climbing gym offered that. I mean, is that common?
Yeah, so rock climbing works a lot of pulling muscles, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Yeah.
it tends to make a lot of shoulders really tight and the back really tight and pull all those muscles kind of forward from just, using one muscle group. And acro yoga uses push muscles. So it's the complete opposite group of muscles. And it tends to balance rock climbers out really well. And so
Okay.
they're getting push and pull opposition, and then it also makes them more flexible, helps them get more flexible. It helps with like body awareness and balance, and you can take all of those kind of skills onto the wall as well.
Cool. So I love that you're still doing that. That you,
Yeah,
yeah, that you found that kind of a doing a little bit of doing a little bit of that still has. I mean, it's good because it's your love, right? But it's also
yeah.
something that is strengthening your body in a way that you need to for acro yoga. It sounds like.
They're very different. So it's really hard to drop one over the other because acro yoga is like two people. So you're really learning how to connect with this other person and you're building all these kind of skills with another person. Whereas rock climbing is very internal. It's just you and the wall. And you're trying to solve this like puzzle on the
Yeah.
wall. Like
Yeah. Yes.
game. And so it satisfies very different areas for me. And I find that they balance each other really well. And we tend to do a lot of like outdoor rock climbing trips with acro yoga. So like when we're just kind of hanging out at the camp, we'll do acro yoga at the camp, and it's a really fun kind of combination.
Ah. Tell us about your journey through acro yoga.
My journey.
Yeah, like so
Um,
you started 5 years ago and now you're teaching and
yeah, so I have some fun, a kind of fun story with it. Do you want me to go into like
I
some
would love
obstacles?
that. Yes, please.
Okay, so um, it's kind of a sad story that has a positive ending. So it's just a fair
Awesome.
break.
That's great. We like all range of emotions here. Being human is great.
So yeah. So I started acro yoga, and like I said, when I went to the first class, I got really excited about it, and I found this jam area and was meeting with different people to kind of meeting up at a park and learning there. Um, at the same time, I was having some pretty serious like health issues going on, and didn't know at the time what it was. But what I was feeling was a lot of like joint pain and joint inflammation
Hmm.
and muscle pain and just weird feelings happening in my body that I had never felt before. And I knew something was wrong, but couldn't figure out what it was at the time.
How old were you
Um,
at the time?
oh, that's a good question. See, I'm 31 now. Let's
Okay.
count back.
So yeah, about 26.
About 5 years ago. So, um, anyway, so while I was practicing and trying to learn this new hobby that I was really falling in love with, I was tearing muscles in my body and really injuring muscles in my body. Um, just because I was having so much inflammation and problems with inflammation that my muscles were just not liking this like new movement.
Oh,
And
interesting.
so, yes, I kept kind of getting injured, and it was really frustrating in the beginning because I was like, I really want to learn this hobby that I really love, but I don't think my body's going to allow me to do it. And so
Mm.
in my head, I was like, okay, that was fun, but I'm probably never going to do this. And was ready to kind of give up. And then I met this guy named John, who is a really experienced practitioner with acro yoga. And we became really good friends. And he started to kind of teach me again. And we would trade. I would teach him rock climbing, and he would teach me acro yoga.
Perfect.
And because he was so experienced, he was just really soft with all the movements, and everything just flowed really well. And he was able
Oh,
to,
yeah.
yeah, he was really able to teach me or communicate to me real easily, like what I needed to do. And so everything just felt really soft and easy and like kind on my body with him. And he was able to get me to do things I never thought that I could do. And so
Mm.
amazing. He took this kind of hobby that I thought I was just about ready to give up on and made it possible. And he never let me use that excuse of like me, my illness or what was going on. And just so you know, I figured out that I had gotten Lyme disease from a tick, and that was
Really?
what's, yeah, and that was what was causing the inflammation in my body.
So for a lot of people, that ends up being kind of a lifelong issue, but it hasn't been for you.
It is. It stays with you forever. But
Okay.
you kind of learn to manage it. And
Okay.
it's one of those things that happened to me that was super negative at the time and discouraging, but it really taught me a lot of who I wanted to be and how I wanted to live my life. When it was at the worst of it, it was really hard to keep moving and doing movement. But I just kept telling myself like that's who I am. I spent my whole life being active and, rock climbing and hiking. And I really couldn't see myself being anybody else, like being somebody who wasn't active. And it really helped me get through it and push through a lot of it. And I did a lot of other holistic treatments to help with it. So I
Okay.
changed my diet and I spent a lot of time outdoors. And I found the outdoors to be really healing. And
Mm.
there was
Mm-hmm.
definitely a long journey to get to just feeling normal again. But I'm very
How long
grateful.
did it take you?
So the first 2 years were the worst. First 2 years was really kind of painful for my joints and muscles. Um, and then I would say after that is when it started to kind of normalize. And they say like it goes in remission. And
Mm-hmm.
so it just kind of, it hides in your body. And every once in a while it'll flare up. So flare up is just kind of where the symptoms kind of come out every once in a while, and they're triggered sometimes by something you eat, or it can be triggered by stress. And so what's really great, I guess what it taught me is to live a stress-free lifestyle, and really
Mm.
just about like what I'm doing to my body and like what I'm putting inside of my body, um and just how I'm living my lifestyle.
That's really powerful. I mean, how did you manage to go? Do you feel like your life had been pretty stressed out, or was it the pain that was causing the stress? Like, was it a combination, or do you feel like your lifestyle had been pretty stressful and that probably contributed
Hmm.
to it?
No, I really have never been a super stressed person. And I think I'm only human. We have
Yeah,
moments.
absolutely.
But for the most part, I found that nature and hiking and doing these activities have kept me really happy and really kept me enjoying life. And so, but I did notice that stress was a trigger. And I did notice that in the time when it was worse, that LA was a trigger, because in LA, just like you're stuck in traffic all day, and like there's pollution, and like, you're just not really getting the healthiest lifestyle. And so
Yeah.
that's how I found, yeah. And that's how I found that nature was really helpful, like getting outside of LA, getting fresh air, being, around the trees and the sounds of nature. And it was really helpful, and it made a lot of my symptoms really go down.
Wow.
And it was amazing. And it's kind of one of those crazy processes that like you really have no idea like how you're going to react until something like that happens to you. Like I was like, it could have been one way or the other. Like I could have just completely given up on life and given up on movement, given up on everything, or just, took in control and made some actions towards it. And you kind of have an idea in your head like, no, I'm this person, like this is the way I am, and I'm going to do this, but you really don't know until it happens to you and how you're going to react. And so I was really grateful that I was able to have like kind of the mind power to overcome it and like take over my body again, if
It
that
takes
makes sense.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and bravery to do that. It really does,
Yeah.
you know, and to try to figure out what's going on and to try to do little things that you think might make a difference and to seek help, because it sounds like you sought help too with trying some. I don't know if you sought help from any like holistic
I
practitioners,
did.
or if it was
I
mostly like
did.
DIY.
I had a really amazing physical therapist who used some holistic practices on me. And then I was completely sold after he did that. Wow, this stuff really works.
Cool.
Yeah. And and it really just became experimentation at that time because it was still kind of new. When I first got it, doctors really didn't believe me. Even though I had tested positive several times, they still had a lot of doubts. And
Really?
um, yeah, it just was something that was like really not known as like like a disease, like a real thing. And so it is now. It's definitely a lot more common, and it's spread so much now that they do take it a lot more seriously, and it's less overlooked.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, at the time it was really hard. My physical therapist was actually the person who I'd go to talk to. He was the only person that would ever listen to me. I was really
Wow.
grateful to him. Yeah. Yeah, it's so interesting.
Yeah, it really is. I feel
Yeah.
I feel like those stories are not rare where people's doctors don't believe them. Do,
That's true. That's very true.
like it's almost kind of sad, but I almost feel like that's a thing that women deal with a lot is, oh, you're just making it up or that's like
Yeah.
even though the tests are showing yes, that is the case that you have this, I
Yeah.
I
And I have to say, I think they're turning around. Like I think holistic medicine is really becoming really popular nowadays.
uh-huh. Yeah.
And I see a lot of doctors working with like health coaches or nutritionists and
And
like
that's great. Yeah.
nutrition as like a treatment plan. And I think
Okay.
that's great.
That
I
see
think
and
it's
that's
great that like their mindset's kind of changing.
yeah, that's good because I actually haven't been keeping up a whole lot on that, but I feel like I was just telling my husband even a year ago. I said, why aren't more doctors partnering with like nutritionists and other specialties that can help like actually help their clients, their customers?
Yeah.
Um
Yeah.
so that's good. That's good to hear. I'm glad that you mentioned that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
a little bit more about like what has been like so that sounds like that was a pretty shaping experience. Were there
Yeah.
specific
Definitely.
people in addition to this guy, like anybody outside of Acroyoga or because I know you mentioned this guy who was really gentle
Yeah.
with you and he was a great practitioner
Mhm.
and it made a huge
Mhm.
difference on you wanting to continue acro yoga. Is there anybody else who you feel like has been just so supportive of you and has really kind of just been like a pillar for you?
A lot of people actually.
Yeah, that's great.
This is a hard one to say anybody specific.
Totally.
But at the time, I was really grateful that I was dating somebody, and we're still really good friends. We're not dating anymore, but he was so supportive and like. And when I told him that I had Lyme, I was terrified because I was like, I felt like I was no longer this like whole person. I was like, oh, I'm broken.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, he's not gonna like me anymore. But it was totally in my head. That was not true at all. He did not care, did not change his perspective on me, and he was so supportive through the whole process. And when I had my bad days, he was always just really there and like didn't like baby me, but let me know that he was there. If
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
so
definitely.
So it
That
was really nice to have someone that close who I could talk to. But also my friends. A lot of my friends really stepped up. And what was interesting is when you share your story about like an illness or something that's going on with you, they tend to open up too. And
mhm.
I learned that so many of my friends were dealing with different health problems and different autoimmune diseases. And I just learned this whole other side that I never knew before that they had never opened up until I had opened up.
And it's
And so,
probably because they had also felt a little bit broken. For whatever reason we think that we're not supposed to have illnesses or that things go wrong for us in our bodies
yeah, I
and
think we always think it's going to be somebody else. We're like, oh, it's going to be somebody else.
yeah.
It's not going to happen to me.
Yeah, and I think that when we show that vulnerability, it really invites other people to open up and be vulnerable. And so
Yeah. I
that
agree.
it like connected you and your friends on a different level, which is
Yes. Yeah.
powerful.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It really was. And it was interesting to see how they handled, their own kind of health issues and their own problems. And I saw such a wide variety of some people doing kind of what I was doing and really kind of taking charge. And some people just like, oh, this is just going to be my life now, and
Hmm.
not kind of surrendering to it instead. Um,
Instead of fighting
and
it.
yeah, exactly. And so it just was really fascinating to me to see how people kind of, handled it differently.
Ah, I love that. I love that. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, thank you.
So, what's teaching like?
Oh my gosh. So much.
and and what
What
led you
teaching?
into teaching? How did you get there?
That's a good question. Um, I kind of just had this desire, and I didn't know if I was going to like it or not. You really never know until you do something. And I
Mm-hmm.
got this opportunity to teach at a rock climbing gym that my friend had gotten me, and I went with it. I was like, I'm going to do this for a little bit and see if I enjoy doing it. And the more I taught, the more I fell in love with the practice in a whole new way. I learned so much because, like, you really have to know every single little detail to
Yeah, and
be
how
able
to explain it,
to
right?
see. And so it taught me so much, and it got me so much stronger in my practice. And I just felt so much more well rounded as a person. But not only that, I felt like I was just giving this gift to people because it just brings so much positivity and so much light and so much to someone's life. And I was
Mm.
watching that, or I do watch that every time in my classroom, and it never really gets old. It's super.
So were you like filling in at first for somebody else and then eventually, or did somebody just say, "Hey, will you teach?" and then you started
Yeah,
getting
so
paid for it?
my friend knew the gym owner, and the gym owner had asked my friend to teach, and he kind of knew acro yoga but didn't know it as well as I did. So he reached out to me and was like, hey, you know acro yoga really well, a lot more than I
Cool.
do. And so he's like, do you want to teach this with me? And he kind of knew I was like looking for a place. And so we started teaching together for a while. And then eventually I took over the class, and
Awesome.
uh, and then now I teach at several different places and do privates and workshops and
Oh,
festivals.
cool.
Hopefully a lot more in the future. Yeah.
So,
But I mean,
go ahead.
it I was gonna continue on kind of like what I love, like my
Yeah.
favorite part when I'm in a classroom is like seeing somebody come in and watching a demo of acro yoga or watching me do a demo, and I can see on their faces they're like, there's no way I'm going to do that. It's like they're like, yeah, right, like we're going to do that. And then seeing their face later after they have done it and were able to do something that they didn't think that they were going to do, and that never gets old.
mm, I bet
Yeah.
I bet that's going to be
People.
so rewarding for you. I mean, cuz 5 years is a short amount of time I feel like to get started into something, experience
Yeah.
a deep challenge, stay the course, and then find yourself now teaching and being able to articulate each move and how to have the right form and technique and where to, I mean, I don't know all the things you have to describe to help somebody understand how to do an acro
Hmm.
yoga move, but I would imagine that that it is eye opening, I'm sure. I mean, it sounds like your experience, and deepening your own relationship with acro yoga has has been the case because you have started teaching. So that's really cool.
Yeah, it's kind of like rock climbing. Once you learn the basic moves and the basic technique of like how to use your feet instead of your arms, and like it just all starts to kind of make sense. And so acro yoga is very much technique. And once you teach the technique, it really all kind of comes together.
Mm. You know, when you talk about acro yoga, almost every time you mention something, whether it's teaching or how you were learning something um, about it or a different move, it reminds me of I used to do a ton of country swing dancing. And
Oh,
yeah, it was
fun!
so fun. And it was like, I don't know, 6 years of my life was a lot of country swing dancing.
Oh, that's so fun.
and it is like really important who your partner is as to how much you're able to do.
Oh,
And
they do kind of have a lot of resemblance, actually.
yeah, yeah. Have you been?
I've done one class before.
Cool. Yeah, and it's really, and your partner really makes or breaks like what you're able to do with them.
Yeah,
Because
it's very
I
similar.
could,
There's like a lot of like lifts in swing
uh-huh,
dancing,
yeah,
and in acro yoga, a lot of the stuff does go into like standing acrobatics, where there's a lot of lifts and
uh-huh,
um, very similar movements.
yeah, and and I could have a certain skill set, but if my partner doesn't, then I can't like I can't show that skill set. So I
Mm.
love hearing you talk about like the value of having a partner who's kind of able to help you stretch and grow. And also, I mean, do you prefer having a partner who is like better than you at acro yoga or who is the same as you or do you like I mean it's also fun teaching people, how to do acro yoga, but like when you do acro yoga, what do you prefer?
It depends, honestly. It really depends on what I'm looking for.
Okay, in the moment.
Like personally for me, if I want to like work on a super advanced trick and I'm really excited about that, then yeah, I want to look for somebody who I trust doing that with and like is really experienced. But I equally have just as much fun teaching somebody the basic foundation
Totally.
moves and like watching them learn and watching it kind of make sense in their head, and like that can equally be just as fun to me. It
Definitely.
doesn't always have to be like, oh, I got to get the coolest trick.
Yeah.
Because to me, the challenge is being able to communicate to this person in a way that they learn, because everyone learns in different ways. And so, sometimes verbal cues don't work. They need to feel it. And sometimes, feeling it doesn't work. They need a lot of like communication. And so finding out like how to kind of transform a person is like really fun for me.
Can you think of any stories with the students that you've had? Uh, can you think of a story that kind of shows or that kind of lights you up about a student that you had that you saw grow or try it and completely just fall to pieces with excitement? Like what what stands out to you in your mind with a student that you've had?
um, okay. Yes, I do have one. This couple came into my acro yoga class one time, my weekly classes, and and they're interesting. Like he's a very big guy. Like I would say, like he looked like a bodybuilder. Now he did not look like a yoga, like big into yoga. And his wife was this small, little, thin kind of. She kind of was a little bit more hippie and earthy, and really sweet. And they were both really sweet. And they came into the acro yoga class, and their faces just like lit up. And he was just so excited. And I remember him telling me like, I'm gonna come like every single week.
Ah,
uh,
cool.
Even better, they ended up doing some traveling, and it wasn't too long after he was just sending me pictures on Instagram of them doing acro yoga in Hawaii and them doing acro yoga on their boat. And he told me that this was the best thing that they had ever done for their marriage, and that it's really made their marriage stronger. And I thought that was really cool.
Wow, that really inspires me to want to try more moves with my husband and to try to try to learn some more. 'Cause we'll do fun little things like party tricks, but that's about it.
It's a I have to admit, I use it quite a lot. Parties.
I bet.
No,
um,
there's a lot more to it than just being a skill set. Like there's so much communication involved in being able to ask for what you need
yeah.
and learning how to talk to this person in a way like you're kind of creating this like teamwork and talk to them in a way to where you're not making them feel guilty or bad. You just you're trying to ask them to do something in a nice way and I found that that's where it really transfers over into relationships and
Hmm.
marriages can really help with that.
Ah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
You talked about festivals. You talked about doing like one-on-one with clients. You talked about doing workshops. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
your classes are at one specific gym, right?
Two different gyms. I have two
Okay.
weekly classes. Yeah.
And then your workshops, do you just set those up like outside of the gym or within
Mhm.
the gym, or how do you usually do that?
So it really depends. Sometimes like a yoga studio or a place will reach out to me and they want to bring Acroyoga to their studio. So we'll do like a one-time workshop there.
Okay.
Or sometimes I will rent out a space and then do like a workshop and that'll be just kind of any kind of space, really like a fitness center or a yoga studio. And then run a workshop that way. So it really kind of like depends on the situation.
And then with festivals, what would be part of a festival? Would it, like, do they have acro yoga festivals, or are they just like other
Yeah,
festivals that
they do
include?
actually.
Wow.
One second.
What are those like?
Oh my goodness. They're so fun.
And how many people show up?
So it really depends actually. But people come all around the whole world to go to acro yoga festivals.
Wow.
And we had our first LA Acro Fest last year here, and that was really fun. And I taught at that one.
How many people
Um,
go? Like, how many people went?
that one was smaller because it was the first year. So I would say about 300
That's still pretty good for
people.
an acro yoga,
Yeah.
like specifically for acro
Oh,
yoga. That's
oh, but there's
a
bigger
lot.
ones.
Yeah.
There's some where there's 500 people or more that show up. And so
Wow.
it can be, yeah, it can be really fun. And what's cool about the festivals is like it really caters to any level. So you don't have to be advanced or it could just be your first time doing acro yoga and there's stuff there for you.
Mm.
So they have all kinds of levels of classes going on and multiple classes going on at the same time. So you can kind of pick and choose what you want to take and it's super inspiring. Every time I go, I get so excited about acro yoga, and I see all these new things and they're really fun to teach at as well. It's just a really high energy, and it's nice.
So,
But
how would you describe like your future vision for acro yoga?
I definitely want to keep spreading my love for acro yoga. I think it's an amazing hobby, and I think it just has so many positive aspects about it. Um, and so I really want to keep teaching and spreading that. And I'd love to bring it into like corporate wellness programs. And so really,
Hmm.
not just yoga, but corporate wellness. Cause like there's so many like, ways that they can use teamwork and connect. And acroyoga is just a great way to connect in a different level. And we've done a few corporate events already, and they're always so fun. And it's fun to see people who just movement isn't part of their daily life do something like acroyoga.
Yeah, that's a very stretching experience. Haha, stretching.
Yeah.
I know it was a cheesy joke, but that I bet for some that's a really like uncomfortable thing for them to do, or something brand new and exciting too, probably.
Yeah, and at least from the experience I've had with past events, they always are so excited and they're always laughing and having such a great time. It's
Yeah.
so silly. It's a really rewarding thing to see, and
Hmm.
be.
What would you say is like the most important way that it has changed you?
So I would say.
Sorry, could
And
you, it cut out for whatever reason. Could you say that one more time?
yeah, it's Acroyoga has given me a lot of confidence,
Mm.
as a person in my own skin, my own body. Like, I would not say I was a coordinated person before Acroyoga.
Wow.
And since then, I've tried other movements and found myself to be way more coordinated. But yeah, that's the one thing I would say that it's done for me. And same with teaching. Teaching is like, to me, teaching is like public speaking.
Yes.
You're speaking in front of a crowd of people, and it really made me feel more comfortable with my skin and being in front of people and groups of people and being able to inspire. And so,
Mm. If there was
yeah.
anything else you could tell the audience today, what would it be?
Oh, I would say don't doubt yourself,
Mm.
because the biggest thing I see is people doubting that they can't do something before they do it. And I think most people are capable of doing more than they think, and they really just have to give it a shot.
That's a wrap. Loved talking to Crystal Nardico. You can find her on Instagram at Acroroots, ACROROOTS. And if you love hiking, go check out her highlights. She's got tons of stories showing where she's been hiking. She loves waterfalls, totally obsessed. And if you are too, you'll love to see where she's been. Here's a quick message from our sponsor, Sweatseat. Sweatseat is a lightweight, compact, waterproof, absorbent, super easy on and off, fits right in your car door. It's a vehicle seat cover that keeps your car from getting messy. So if you go out on a hike, or you go sweat in a gym, or you go to the beach, it's going to protect your seat. Go check it out, sweatseat.com. If this is your first time listening, follow us on Instagram at Feminine Will. And if you have friends that you think would like to listen to these stories too, then spread the love. We want everybody to hear and be inspired by these amazing women that come on the show. If you have suggestions on who we should interview, then please send us a DM on Instagram, and I will see you next week.